Congratulations. You've made the decision on starting your yard sign celebration business, and now we're moving on to the next step. Okay. Topic number 2, all right, is what's the name of your business? Do you have a name for your business yet? If you do, great. If you don't, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's going on in your market with regards to your competition. And then we're going to also talk about, once you've made the decision on what your business name is, the second most important step of that process is to do a search at a website called GoDaddy, or a host domain business, where you can run a search on whether or not your business name has already been purchased by somebody else. Okay. In my case, when we decided to go with the name Sign Fairies, we went to GoDaddy. You can go to Wix, which is a website builder. They will allow you to do a search to see whether or not your business name is available there. Google Business gives you that opportunity. There's many different areas. Okay. This topic isn't going to be about how you find those different engines. All right. But this topic is going to be really more about what you need to do in order to get your business ready to go. Okay. So if you don't have a name of your business yet determined, you need to spend a half an hour and just write down names. All right. Names that come to your mind. What I would say to you is reactively sit down for 20 or 30 minutes and just write down on a piece of paper every single name that comes to mind, whether it's good or bad. The exercise isn't about ranking them. The exercise is about writing down business names. Okay. If you can do this for 15 or 20 minutes, you're going to have a list. It might be 5 business names long. It might be 10 business names long, but the exercise is to do it, not to actually think about the actual business name yet. Write them all down, because when you write them all down, then you have them all in front of you, and then you can make a decision. And what you might end up deciding to do is choose pieces of each. Okay. But what I want you to think most about before you make a decision on what your business name is it simple? Does it have a little ring to it? Do you like it? Okay. Is it hard to say? Because if you can't say it, no one's going to probably end up using it, buying your signs. Okay. And more importantly, it should be joyous. Okay. Have some kind of flair to it. All right. You know, mine is Sign Fairies, right? And when we came up with Sign Fairies, it was a reactive decision. My wife and I were bantering back and forth. Maybe you want to do this with your significant other. Maybe you want to do it with your friend, and just start throwing out names. Don't be embarrassed by what the name is. Just throw it out. It's the exercise of throwing it out. You can cross them off later if you don't like them. So just write them down, okay? Because when we did that, and we did that together, we were able to come with a list of names that we liked, and then we came up with Sign Fairies. It literally just happened like that. It was like magic. You know what I mean? You'll know. I know it doesn't help you because it's not scientific, but you'll know when you've come across the right name. All right. And what I would say to you is, don't let this process get in the way of you actually taking actions to start your business. Okay. If you get stuck here, all right, just go through the rest of the process. Okay. You can always come back to it. There's still more stuff that you're going to need to do, and there's still more stuff that we're going to need to talk about. So this topic that I went through during my process is more about understanding what the name of my business is going to be. Now, if you've made a decision that you're going to franchise, you're probably not going to need these videos, okay? Because what a franchisee does, or a franchise, is that they prepare you and make this a cookie cutter decision, and then you've got to pay them to do that. They're going to license their brand to you, a la Sign Gypsies, a la Card My Yard, and other franchises out there. I think there's 3 or 4 of them, to be honest with you. But if you're a franchise, listen, hang around. You know, you might decide to leave the franchise in a couple of years, or however long it happens to be. But if you're someone who's following me on YouTube, if you're someone who is following me on my private Facebook group, then you're probably somebody who is excited about creating signs and making them, and might not be able to shell out $1,000 or $2,000 on pre-made signs to start your business. We weren't. We wanted to buy the signs. We didn't want to figure out how to make them because none of us had the time to do that. But now, once we started, I really enjoy making signs, and it's become kind of this neat little new passion, right? So don't get stuck and bogged down in the quagmire of what is the name of my business. It's not complicated. It's simple. What's simple? Here, I'll show you what's simple. Not the Gatorade bottle, not the plastic, not the marketing behind this, the bottle top. This is a simple idea, okay? Someone was sitting down looking at a bottle and said, we're gonna need a plastic top. And they made that. They probably made it for 3 cents and they're selling it for $1. Who knows, right? But it's a simple idea. It's something that somebody needs and it's profitable, okay? So please keep it as simple as possible. If you're not the type of person who likes to keep things simple, then you might want to think about talking to somebody who can help you through this process, because there's no shame in asking for help. And if you can afford to have somebody help you through what the name of your company is going to be, do it. All right. I'm not saying that you can't. The idea of these videos is that you've made the decision to start your business. You know that you are, and you're probably going to have a good idea now or soon on what the name of your business is. Okay. So let's talk about that for a second. So now you have your business name. Mine's Sign Fairies, yours is whatever it is, okay? The next critical component that you need to think about doing right after you've made the decision. So you got your business name, you also want to think about a tagline, okay? Mine is displaying your celebrations majestically. I think taglines are good. It's something that people can say after they say Sign Fairies. It's not necessary to have in order to start your business, okay? So taglines are not a requirement, they're an option, okay? It's a good option because it'll be something that somebody says that reminds them about your actual brand, which happens to be, mine happens to be Sign Fairies. But a tagline is always a good thing, okay? So not a requirement. You got your business name. You've made that decision, you have your business name. The next thing that I need you to do, okay, now that you have your business name, now that you're starting your yard sign celebration business, is who's your competition, okay? And where are they in reference to where either A, your store is, or where you're gonna be warehousing your letters. I'm in my office, in my house, which happens to be in the garage, okay? Outside, if you haven't followed any of my videos on YouTube, which I think you should, please go there. It's Sign Fairies channel. We have all of our letters there. So when we go do an install, we are leaving our house, all right? And when we bring back an install, it's all being put up in the house. And I have videos showing that, okay? So I want you to make sure that you determine who your competition is in your marketplace, okay? Do you have a franchise in the area? If so, who is it? I'll create a document that you can use to write this down, because this is going to be vital, okay, for you to determine what your quote unquote value proposition is, okay? Because franchises already have their value proposition already created for them. It's a cookie cutter process. So you're a little late to the game against somebody who happens to be a franchise. But you're following these videos, okay? And I'm going to help you get to where you need to go so that you're just as competitive. And quite frankly, I'm going to say more competitive. And I'll give you all the reasons why. All right. So now that you have your business name and you're going to spend some time with the document that I provide to you, understanding your competition. Okay. So one of the things that you want to make sure that you do when you're looking on who your competition is A, is it a franchise? If it is, which one? All right. And B, is it a privately owned business like yours or mine that I'm starting? Okay. And you need to go to every one of your competitors' websites or private Facebook groups, okay? But some people don't have websites, they just have a private Facebook group, and find out how and what they're doing, okay? You need to know who your competition is. I know who my competition is. Okay. We've had four competitors pop up in the last 8 weeks. 2 are franchises. One is Card My Yard. The other one is Sign Gypsies. Okay. The other one is a small mom and pop sign business in the town south of me. And another one just started up that it's kind of similar to what we do. I think they might even own a sign business. So they got into making the letters and and doing the business themselves. So I've got 4 competitors in my marketplace, which means I have a lot of competition. But prior to that, I had none. All right. I had absolutely none. So you want to understand what it is that they're doing that's better than what you're doing. And you also want to understand what they're doing that is a competitive advantage for you. And I can tell you one of my competitive advantages against franchises is I believe, and it could have changed, but based on the last research that I did, is that their process of purchasing a sign is incredibly automated. All right. Which means that it's easy and it's not labor intensive. Mine, on the downside, is a little bit more labor intensive. Okay. So someone like Card My Yard is going to have a website that's pre-built for their franchisees that has an integrated Google Maps to it. Okay. Now, when the person buys the franchises, they're going to be licensed zip codes in your local area. Some may be in your area, some may be out of your area. But my point of bringing this up is that a customer goes to my competitor website, they put in their address, okay, and then they put in what kind of sign they want. And they go through the process of signing up, all right? And at the end of that process, when they click send or buy, okay, that process for them will say, hey, great, this is what you need to do in order to buy the sign, or sorry, we can't service you. My process is different, okay? I built a website. I have people going to my website, clicking on a form. The form is basically like a survey. The survey gets completed. It goes to an Excel spreadsheet, and I get a notification. So I know right away when somebody's filled out a reservation request form, and I'm also able to track it in Google Analytics, which is a whole different conversation for another day. But my point is that I know in essentially real time when someone has clicked the buy button. And when they fill out the time, when they take the time to fill out their information and provide it to me, that's a buying sign, okay? And that basically means that you're about 90% away from closing the deal, okay? And what I do from there is I actually reach out to these people via a text message, thank them for signing up for my reservation request form, and I start communication with them right away. Now, in the process of that, I'm also asking them if they would want to join and be a part of a newsletter, which is also a good idea. But my point of bringing up all these things about being competition is you have to understand all these dynamics with all your competitors in your marketplace. And you have to say, when someone says to you, hey, which is better, Sign Fairies or Card My Yard? Which is better, Sign Fairies or Sign Gypsies? Which is better, Joe's local sign shop or Sign Fairies? You better have an answer to that question, okay? Because if you don't, you've already lost your business, okay? So understanding your competition and the value that you bring to overcome your position there is vital. So this exercise is going to be good for you. Understand your competition. And I might even say to you is if you have time to actually invest, right? I would have one of your friends or even yourself buy a sign through them. See what it's like. Do they get, how quickly do they get back to you? Do they get back to you? How easy is it to navigate their website? What did you like about your buying experience at the competitor? What did you not like? Okay. So you need to be taking all of this kind of stuff in because you are a business person and you're trying to make money. All right. That's why we're here. The byproduct of what we're doing is we also bring joy. And I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. You do probably also. Okay. So understanding your competition is absolutely critical. So go through that process, and I'll have the a document sort of outlining that you can print out where you can write all this stuff down. The other dynamic that I want you to know, that now that you have your name of your sign company, is stop what you're doing. As a matter of fact, put this on pause right now. Okay, pause this. Go to GoDaddy. Go to Google Business. Go to Wix, which is a website developer, and search your business name in a hosting company like GoDaddy. Okay, because if your name is not available, your business name is not available, you can't create that website. Okay, so we came up with the name Sign Fairies. I went to GoDaddy. I did a Google search on signfairies.com. Somebody already owned it. Now you can buy that URL address from them. It's going to cost you, but if it's that important to you, you can probably find a way to buy it. But if not, we decided to go with .net. So www.signfairies.net was what I purchased. I think I spent, I don't know, $15. And then there's certain questions that you have to answer that I'm not going to get into now. But you want to make sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you have a URL address. And I'm going to highly recommend that you build a website. And I'm going to highly recommend that you use that to your advantage to display what it is that you're doing in the local marketplace. Okay? And you want to understand what your competitors are doing, because all the franchises are going to have that, and even all the other businesses like yours are going to have that as well. It's part of the deal. It's part of getting into the game. Okay, so make sure that you search your Google. Make sure that you search a domain hosting company to see if your domain address is available. All right. Now, if you don't know what a domain search is, that's okay. These are things that you're learning, and you're going to learn a lot more. And like I mentioned before, you can do this at a number of different areas, number of different locations. I built my website personally on my own through a website called Wix, and I simply did a Google search on what are the top 5 what are the top 5 websites to build a website. Wix was one of them. WordPress is another one. There's a few other ones that are out there. And one of the things that these web hosting companies offer is doing a search on a domain. And they'll sell you one if you want to buy it. Okay? So that's really the process of what it is that you need to go through now that you have your business name. Now you've made the decision to start your business. Who is your competition? What do they do that's different? How do they do it that's different? Is that a pro? Is that a con? And then doing a domain search, okay? It's, for this topic, I wouldn't say that it's simple, but this is the process that I went through, all right? So you're gonna probably spend, maybe $20 on a URL address to register it. And then you're going to want to renew it. Always have it default to renew so you don't have to worry about it, because if you lose your URL address and somebody else buys it out from under you, your website isn't going to work. You're going to get a whole new website address. And you just spent the last year, sending people to your website, and now it's changed, which is bad. You don't want to do that. So just set it to renew. That's what I do. So I don't have to worry about it. And then you'll be good to go. And in the process of doing your searches, you'll find whether or not you want to build your website or you want to have somebody build it for you, okay? Or we're jumping the gun a little bit. But that's what I want to cover in topic 2, okay? Your business name and what you need to do in order to obtain your domain address or the URL for your business, okay? Business name, domain search, okay? And then competition, what do you do that you think is different? And what do they do that you know is different, that's a competitive advantage for them? And what's your competitive advantage? You got to know this stuff, okay? Because if I quiz you and I ask you who are the competition in your local marketplace, you don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you you're going to get schooled, All right. And you're probably not going to be very good at your job. All right. You got to know this stuff. It's very important. Do you think that GM, who's direct competition with Ford, knows everything about GM? You think Ford knows everything about GM and GM knows everything about Ford? Yeah, they do. Why? Because they're in the same marketplace and they're competing for the same customer, and they got to know. Okay? They just have to. It's part of the deal. Okay? So that's topic number 2. All right? I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for topic number 3. See you in a little bit.